Innovative content. Global audience.
Hello, a very warm welcome to you, viewers. Yes, this is Inside Nigeria. Now, we have quite a lot coming in from Nigeria. So much, like the Nigerians will say, issues plenty. Yes, a whole lot ranging from labor, dragging back and forth with the federal government, and of course, we saw the president's speech yesterday, which a lot of people felt it was empty and hopeless, according to PDP. And of course, there's a major issue I want to discuss this morning, talking about the academic records of our dear president, as we now await that report. There's a lot going on in that country, and then we'll put the focus mostly on everything about our 63rd independence celebration. What do you think of the president's speech? And of course, what do you think about the new wage, the top up for federal government workers? Is this something that will cushion the effects of subsidy removal, or you think that is not enough according to the organized labor? Now, we have a lot of discussion this morning, and I have with me, of course, on the show no other than Ojonimi S. Ape. He is a legal practitioner. He's here, and we'll be dissecting these issues together this morning. Good morning, sir, and nice to have you on the show today again.
Good morning once again, and thanks for having me. How have you been?
Fine, fine. We can't complain. And how are you? How was the celebration yesterday? Because I've asked quite a number of people, and they're like, it was a low-key, celebration. There is nothing much to celebrate. Now, do you share the same opinion or thoughts?
You only talk about celebration when there's something to celebrate. When you don't have anything to celebrate, there's no celebration. There was I don't think there was celebration anywhere yesterday. It was just like a normal day. Go about your normal activities, go to church,
Okay.
And come back. And go to...
Wow. Well, would you hope that someday in Nigeria we'll have quite a lot to celebrate about? We can't wait for that day to come. And I want to begin this morning. Now we have a lot of issues, but let's start from the president's speech yesterday. Of course, the man did say that he's putting a lot. He has been putting a lot in place, and of course, he talked about security, applauding the judiciary, you people as well, and of course, the top up for the workers now, all this security and all that, and of course, the release of 15 billion for the poor. Now we have quite a lot, but what did you see that speech, and what do you make of that speech?
Well, one thing that Nigerian leaders are good at, speech. Like I give you, Nigeria is the only country where people can tell you white is black and black is white. Nigeria is the only country where even when you are seeing danger, they will tell you there's hope, let us go, and everything will be well. To me, as a person, the speech, there's nothing to write about the speech. We'll be hearing promises, renew hope, renew hope, renew hope. There have been presidents before him, and the same thing, every day we promise to do good, every day we promise to do better, and there's nothing. I think that words should be matched with action. And if words are not matched with action, then of course there's nothing to write home about. But again, looking at the speech yesterday, I picked about 2-3 things from the speech. First of all, he said there's releasing 15 billion for the, is it 15 or 50 billion? I can't remember, for the poor masses. Again, I asked the question, who are the poor masses? What are the machinery put in place to distribute this money? What are you going to do? Are you going to give them cash? Are you going to give them what exactly do you want to do with this 15 billion? The other day they say it was it 50 billion or thereabouts shared to state. And we saw how the state, particularly Kogi State Governor, we saw how he put that into use. And it was on air everywhere, and people indeed watch it. Another issue that came up yesterday that has become a debate for everybody is the issue of 25,000 or 30,000 for salary for workers. Now, this 35,000 Is it according to the president? Is it for Ewa? Is it for Gary? Is it for beans? This 35,000. Did you know how much it takes to buy a fuel per week, especially if you are using a V6 or V8 engine? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. Like I said, is it for Ewa? Is it for Gary? Is it for beans? 25 or 30,000 naira. Is the president aware that Nigerians spend close to 50,000 every week just to fuel their car, to go to offices and come back? Another issue that you ask yourself, is it going to be, is it a flat rate, a continuous thing? If after the 6 months, the presidency failed to achieve or to deliver on the promises given to Nigeria, will it continue? Will it continue paying 25,000 or 30,000 to Nigerians? Like I keep telling people, Nigeria is a country where we just go to places, copy something and paste without addicting it. I know for sure that this idea would have been copied or gotten from somewhere. But before you bring in ideas or you borrow, it is good to borrow ideas. I don't have any issue with that. It is good. It is fantastic. Well, because for you to do some things at times, you need to see where it has worked, where it has been applied, how effective was that this thing. So when you import it back into your country, you need to look at your society. Now, maybe where they imported this thing from now and they're applying it to Nigeria, maybe that population is not even up to 10 million. And here we're talking about Nigeria where you have over 200 million people.
You know, my worry was also about the 15 million. Now you're releasing 15 million on Independent Day. I think Nigeria was expecting quite a lot from the president, the speech as well, to be more than what we saw yesterday. And of course, we talking about palliative. Even the that's one issue I will bring on the table today. The up till now, Sarah is still dragging the 36 state governor, 35 state governor to the court because they feel they have failed to utilize the money very well. And then we're now having issues of 15 million again to the 50 billion to the poor. How sure are we that this money will even get to these people, and for how long this money is supposed to carry them? These are the issues.
You know, the issue, like if you ask me, if you look at the 15 billion that will be released tomorrow or today or next tomorrow, and the 50 billion that was released earlier, that is 65 billion for one state. Then in Nigeria, we have 36 states. Imagine putting this 65 billion times 36. Do you know how much it will cost? Or do you know how much it is? Imagine constructing one road from Maiduguri to Lagos. Imagine building or upgrading the airports. Imagine using that money to repair the refineries or building another refinery. It would have been a better option than releasing this in less than 3 months or 2 months, than releasing 65 billion to states, which you and I know very well. We know that this money will be looted. We know this money will be diverted, and the president is not oblivious of this part. He's aware. So what is even the necessity of releasing this money? Like I said earlier, we saw how the governor of Kogi, Bello, utilized this money, giving people 2 mudu of gari, giving people, is it 500? Some persons were giving 500 naira. Now the 500 naira they gave to those people, is it to buy food? Is it to buy recharge card? Is it even the 500 cannot even buy 1 liter of fuel, because fuel is 630? To me, what is happening or what has happened is lack of vision, lack of focus. It is failure of leadership. These are the kinds of things you see when leadership has failed. These are the kind of things you see when leaders don't have vision, they don't have focus. This is the kind of things you see that when leaders are not oriented. Because a focused man, a man that knows what he's doing, will not be releasing money, because there is even no basis for releasing this money in the first place. There's no basis. This money I released to state, and state to release this money. Why can't you use this money to pursue one goal, one agenda? Nigerians are crying, no potable water in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you are the NEPA for yourself. This ADEC, in Abuja we call it ADEC. You provide water for yourself, you provide security for yourself, you give light for yourself. So why can't government use this money to achieve just one thing? Like I said, 65 billion times 36 can give us light in Nigeria comfortably. At least use that money to achieve something. That one is 65 billion. Now for East State times 36 states can construct good road from Borno State or Adamawa to Lagos. They can fix Lagos or a road. They can fix Lagos Ibadan road with change.
That is claiming lives on daily basis. That Lagos
people are dying on that road.
On the news this morning, 7 or 8 people died on that road. Like it's become a daily thing.
So, but when you have leaders that are not focused, when you have leaders that they don't know what, so they just want to get power at all means, they don't know what to do with power. These are the kind of things you see. These are the kind of things you see. 63 years, nothing to show for. Imagine a man of 63 years not having a wife, not having a house. Imagine a man of that one is classified as a failure. We have been talking about light since 1960, even before the independence. But we can forgive before independence. We'll be talking about every election period. We hear about good road, good water, good education. Every election period, these are the same thing. It has become a recurrent decimal. Every election period. When would there ever be an end to this thing? Would there ever be an end to this thing? Why other countries are talking about every election? They're talking about ideas to promote in science. They're talking about what to promote in technology. They're talking about what to promote in other aspects. Nigeria is talking about road. And the most annoying thing and the most painful thing about this aspect is that we have all the mineral resources in Nigeria to construct road. Everything to construct road. Nigeria is a country that is so blessed with mineral resources and so cost because of mismanagement.
Of course, that was exactly the word the labor movement, the organized labor used yesterday, 63 years of mismanagement. And also, let's not forget that money, the president said the money will be transferred, 15 million transferred to poor household in October. And then he did say also in his speech concerning insecurity. The president restated that the administration is committed to protecting life and properties. Now, these are some of the issues we have, and of course, in doing this, the commander-in-chief said security agencies will emphasize more on inter-service collaboration and intelligence gathering. So we are still here, and we're still hoping that it's as if it's the state. For instance, barrister, there's another one here. He did call the judiciary the pillar of democracy, and of course, for all its efforts on national building, describing the third arm of government as a pillar of democracy and fairness. You are in that industrial sector arm, so I'll leave that in your court, the ball in your court.
So should I talk about the insecurity now or about the judiciary?
Everything. This is what we're still talking about, what the president said yesterday. And of course, we know that it's quite much. He said, though Nigerians felt like it was empty, but this is the reality.
It's empty and shallow. It's empty and nothing. Now, on the issue of insecurity, I had a cause to do a petition for some of my clients last week. And in the course of this petition, I went home and I did some research, and I discovered that in Nigeria today, everywhere you see insecurity is because there are mineral resources there that people want to benefit from. That is the basic truth. And in the words of late Sani Abacha, he said, when insecurity persists for more than 24 hours, it means the government hand is involved.
Is involved.
And I'm tempted to agree with him, to agree with late Sani Abacha. and Al Mustafa. The insecurity in Nigeria, whether we like it or yes, is being fueled and sponsored by government. There are no two ways about it. Look at what is happening in Borno State. Look at what is happening in Zamfara State, Savisa Forest, for instance. I understand that they have I forgot the name of the mineral resources there, that 1 ton of it alone can give you $34 million. Imagine some people in that same bush that they say insecurity persists. So some foreign agency are still going there to grant interviews. How are they assessing these people? How are they assessing these people? In those same places, we understand that some traditional rulers are also involved in the sale of those mineral resources. So most of the times, what brings insecurity in those environments is when you now talk about sharing formula. When there's disagreement between the proceeds of what they are stealing to be shared, it now leads to insecurity. Because every of those leaders now start bringing up people that will fight and protect their interests. Are you aware, ma, that gold is being taken from Nigeria almost on a daily basis? Are you aware, ma, that we have a gold shore in Dubai where they say Nigerian gold? Are you telling me that the government is not aware of all those things? Are you aware, ma, that people are taking coal from Nigeria on a daily basis? Are you aware, ma, that in Nasarawa here, even in Abuja here, people are taking there's something that calls it Litmore, I've forgotten, every day. Some people were granted interview the other day in Niger State, and they told the federal government, pump and play, that we know those responsible for this thing. Come, we will show you. What did the governor of Niger State? I saw something is it day before yesterday by the governor of Niger State, that those people that want to protest because government have failed to come to their aid, they will be arrested. So you will now begin to ask questions. Our mineral resources, is it a blessing or a curse?
Or a curse.
Is it a blessing or a curse? Those are issues we need to answer before we even talk about insecurity. So the government cannot pretend not to know those that are involved. Government cannot pretend not to know. Government is aware. There was a report that came out during the Melami period, and there was even a court order ordering Malami, the former Attorney General of the Federation, to publish names. He refused. If there are no names to publish, will Nigeria ask them to publish?
To publish names?
Yeah. Why did they refuse to publish the names? Why did they refuse to publish the names? It is because they too have interest. They don't want to expose their friends. They don't want to expose their brothers. They don't want to expose their
even themselves. It's quite. I had a discussion with somebody this morning about this issue of Emefiele, because federal government is disconnecting themselves from this issue. And then the guy was telling me that this issue is a very, very sensitive one, because if you go deep, you will see that a lot of people talking about the last administration, we go down if that man goes down. We'll get to that issue. The president also said he's committed to creating jobs and carrying youths along. And these are some of the things he said yesterday. You have made your opinion as well, together with Nigerians, saying that the list is quite empty, shallow, and of course, hopeless. Now, let's look now, let's look at we have a major issue as well. The president and Atiku, the court in the US order that the deadline is Tuesday, 12 p.m. to make sure that they allow access to Atiku Abubakar, the academic records of the president. Now, what's your take on this issue? And of course, are you optimistic that, of course, you're a lawyer, that this will hold any weight as they continue with their court cases?
Well, like I said the other day, this matter is still sub judice. It is still pending. In fact, parties have filed appeal to the Supreme Court. And as one of the counsel in the matter, I have to be very careful about our opinion on air as regards this issue. But talking about Atiku and Tinubu, I have a very personal opinion because I don't know what Atiku intends to achieve with what is pursuing. Because I know that under the Electoral Act, when you file your petition, the law requires that you file along with documents you intend to rely on, or you list them. Now, I've not read Atiku's petition. I don't know if the document he's pursuing were listed. If those documents were listed and were not front-loaded, and he's trying to get those documents now, I think, what does he intend to do with them? Is it to tender them to call fresh evidence at the Supreme Court, which I know that the law does not permit? The law that I know now does not permit calling of additional evidence in our election jurisprudence at the Supreme Court. Well, you know, the expert to this thing, everybody have their opinions to this issue. And I may not want to jump into this conclusion. So you have experts handling his cases. So I think that those experts will do justice. They know what they are out to gain, what they are out to achieve. But I don't know. I don't want to go into details on it. I don't want to go into details. So Atiku and Tinubu, they are the Supreme Court. So we have to wait to hear what the Supreme Court will say, so that since the matter is sub judice, as a lawyer, when the matter is sub judice, you're not supposed to air your opinion about it until after judgment is delivered.
And now there's another issue on ground. We are coming from the First Lady of Nigeria, Remi Tinubu, and she says that her husband, even though her husband is committed to liberating Nigeria, her husband is not a magician, so people should take it easy on the husband. Now, what's your take on this comment? And Nigerians are actually asking that, is it that she is not feeling the impact? Is it that she's not seeing, or at least reading the news? I follow the comments critically this morning.
You know, those in the king's palace that eat with the king, they always don't know that the weather outside is hot. That is my simple answer to that. So when you're in the king's palace and you are eating and everything is supplied to you free of charge, you don't know how other people are going about getting their own daily bread. So whether being a magician or not being a magician, I read this history of celebrating 100 days in office. The reason why people celebrate 100 days in office, or the history that I've known about 100 days in office, is because when you celebrate 100 days in office, people should be able to know the direction and where you are going to. People should be able to know if you can deliver on your promises or on your agenda. People should be able to know whether you will take them to their promised land or take them back to Egypt. Nigerians are not fools. Within 100 days is more than 3 months, if I'm not wrong. Now, within these 100 days, fuel have increased from 190 something to 630 naira. Fuel. The price of rice have increased. Everything is just going up. That was not what you promised Nigerians. We are not saying it should be a magician. Nobody wants a magician. We want a leader that can deliver. Nobody wants a magician. Nobody wants a sorcerer. We are not asking, nobody is asking for that. We are only asking you that, sir, this is what you promise us. Do it. We don't want mere words. We have listened to mere words. We have voted you. Don't complain. You knew. He cannot pretend not to know what he was going to beat. He cannot pretend not to do. He knows. And he promised that he's going to bring the solution. And his campaign was titled Renew Hope. Renew Hope. Renew Hope. So he should renew the hope, because before he came in as president, people have lost hope. A lot of people lost hope in the past administration. People lost hope. Look at naira to dollar now. Do you know what naira to dollar is? 1,000. It wasn't like that before he came in. From one something during Jonathan, He moved over to 700 in during Boris administration. Now 1,000. You can't even see the dollar to buy. We don't want a magician. We know he's not a magician. We know that we won't have voted the magician in the first place. If we want a magician, we know where to go and get them. We don't want one, and we did not vote for one. We voted for our husband. So let her allow husband to do the job. Except unless he's telling us that the husband has complained to her that he cannot.
It's not capable.
He's not capable. Then he should come out openly and tell us that my husband has told me he's not capable. You people should give him time. Then we cannot know what to do from there. Nobody wants a magician. We want someone that can perform, and that is what he promised us. He said he's going to replicate Lagos in Abuja, which I have issues with. Well, I will leave that for another day. So we want to see changes. Is not the logo of the APC. They say it's change. So we want to see change. We want to see the renewal. And like you know,
go ahead.
It's a very funny country that once this goes up, it never comes down. But I was relieved this morning when I heard that cement will be
cement is now 3.5 from glass cement. Yes, I think that's something that has come to. It's as if that news actually came at the right time. As at the time Nigeria did celebrate independence, they were very everybody was on a low key, and then we had that news, and people are not happy. At least the ones that are struggling to build for themselves can now go ahead, because and they did say that next year also there's going to be more reduction, so we can't wait to see that as well. And then
with that.
Okay, go ahead.
It is not about reducing the price.
Okay,
it's about making the product available for people.
Okay.
And it's not all about availability of the product. It's about us not reducing the quality.
Standard quality.
Yes. It's about not reducing the quality. Because, you know, I gave somebody an example yesterday when we were talking about this issue. You know those people that produce biscuits, they're very funny. Before, biscuit used to be 5. When economy reduced, they won't tell you anything. By the time you buy the biscuit, the thing will reduce to 4. The next time you go to buy the biscuit, the thing will reduce to 3. Take example now, the sardine we used to buy. Sardine used to be 4 or 5 inside. But if you buy some sardine now, you will see 1 or 2.
I don't want to believe there is any person producing sardine with just 1 fish. That would be me.
Yeah, 1 fish. And even I don't know what is it the sauce or the oil that comes with sardine? That was so sweet then. We normally use it to eat bread. You can't even use it now to even eat bread because it has reduced. So it is not all about reducing the price of cement. It's about 1, making it available for Nigerians to buy. And 2, the quality should also not reduce. That's my view on those issues.
Yes, I think that's a very, very key and valid point. Not about making it cheap, but the quality and, of course, the availability. It's what matters. And now let's look at still on Independence Day celebration. Yes, we I think a little bit of network issues there. He's going to join us again. He did say something about you know, the reducing the quality, and they should make it available, which is a very good one. Now, Barrister, let's move forward, but still on Independence Day celebration. Now, we saw that federal government actually allowances for workers, government workers it's now been topped up to 35,000. Now, what's your take on this? And don't forget also that VAT on diesel have been waived for the next 6 months. Yes, there will be no VAT. Now, what's your take? Do you think this will at least cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal?
My answer is no. My answer is no. Now, like
Why?
Yes, like I said.
At least half bread is better than none, or nothing is better than something is better than nothing.
Sometimes half bread is poisonous than none. Yes. It's not like so there's this Yoruba proverb that nobody say that you can only see, but you can never debate. Just like what happened to Moses. Moses saw the promised land, but he never entered the promised land. Now, Or alternatively, it's just like the devil give you it one hand and collect it with the right hand.
The other hand.
The question I ask, this 35,000 that you are paying workers, do you know how much workers pay on transportation every day to go to the office? That is the first question. Now, just take for instance, people that live in Maraba, people that live in Yanya and come to town every day. Do you know how much they spend on transport every day?
Kubwa, you know.
Just to come. I understand that when this fuel issue came on board, people that used to pay daily, maybe transportation, 1,000 every day, coming and going back, they started paying as high as 3,000, 4,000, just to come and go back, excluding food that they will eat. Now, I think this 35,000 or 25,000 now, let us ask ourselves, is it transportation allowance or feeding allowance or for what? To me,
they are just giving. So when you receive, you know exactly how to use it. Maybe your transport or feeding or taking care of your family, or medical bills.
In a country where senators are receiving over 100 million as prayers in their email, they receive, according to what the Senate president was saying, they have sent prayer to their email. An investigation revealed that the prayers that was sent to their email was 100 million. In this same country, that you pay senators sitting allowance, newspaper allowance, hazard allowance, committee allowance, medicine allowance, toilet allowance, everything.
Do you know most of these senators they don't buy food? Are you aware? I've seen.
I know.
I've once seen a public office holder that when I went to his office for interview, to my surprise, they brought a mini tanker of fuel, and they had this tank in that what's it called, their office, and they were just filling. So he told me, how can I buy fuel? I'm sitting on this chair, I'm working for government. But like we too, we are working for the government.
It's unfortunate and sad that our leaders don't have human feelings. They don't have human face. Our leaders, I have a view about them. It's just wickedness. It has gone beyond the level of greed, the level of wickedness. It has passed the level of exploitation, the level of wickedness. Every Nigerian that wants to get into power today is what he can gain, not what he will do, how to contribute to this day. Now, this 35,000, let me be. Will they be given to their girlfriend, their so-called girlfriend?
How can they give only 35,000? They are actually flying them to Dubai, to Paris on daily basis. We all know that.
And you are giving the family man 35,000, and you are happy. You want us to rejoice with you, celebrate with you. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I think to me, it won't go anywhere. That is why I say again, this issue of 15 billion as 50 billion you are giving to state should have been utilized far better than what you are doing. But of course, again, let's not deny the fact that some of these workers do. They are ridiculous. We know what they do. Some of these public those workers, we know the kind of things they do. Because for most of them aid and abet corruption in their ministries. A lot of them. And to an extent, I like what the FCT minister is doing. See the way he's removing them. If you don't want to work, they fish you out. And it's even so pathetic. I saw a video last week where the Minister of Works and Housing came to the office and people came late. He locked them outside.
Yes, I saw that. Ebonyi State.
They asked him to come and approach. That is ridiculous. It's shameless, to say the least. Officers are supposed to resume 8 o'clock. Sometimes when you go to these public offices, do you know some people are in abroad and are receiving salary in Nigeria?
Yes, of course. And sometimes too, most time, the time I was in Nigeria, that is the place I used to go and do Vox Pop. And sometimes you go there around 10, 11, you hardly see them. That's the time they actually resume work. And 1, 2, 3, they're off.
Before, you are saying 12 o'clock. They just come and sign and leave. Come and sign and leave. It's pathetic. It's just pathetic. Well, the summary of everything is that I think 35,000 is not enough. Or 25,000
And then
is
what's
not
your
enough.
take on labor? We've been seeing the organized labor. I don't know, but I'm supposed to be neutral, but at least I have my own personal opinion. I don't think this dragging of foot with federal government is helping. So if you want to say we're fighting, I will beat you, just do it already so that people take you serious for once. Nigerians are actually describing them as a toothless bulldog, and of course, people are not looking down on them because they don't stand or stick by a word when they say it. We've seen that there was a closed door crucial meeting yesterday, and of course, today again they are going on that same meeting to know as to whether they are going on the major shutdown tomorrow, talking about the strike or not. Now, what's your take? Because Labour is still insisting that just like what you said, that 35,000 would not even go anywhere. So they are demanding for more, but that they will still have to shut down regardless tomorrow. Now, what's your take on this? Are you prepared for that shutdown?
Well, my simple answer to that we don't have labor in Nigeria. We don't have a group. We just have group of organized people that when they are hungry, they start making noise, and they will go into negotiation and get whatever they want to get, and come back and ask Nigeria to do what they want to do. Now, I only think that the only time we have labor that was active, in as much as I have my personal reservation about the man that headed labor then, now is Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, former governor of Edo State, His Excellency Adams Oshomole. I think that was when I knew that we had labor. And when labor coughed, that the government will know that there's fire on the mountain. When labor say we will not do this, the government must sit up. That was when we have labor. That was when we know labor was active. When His Excellency Adams Oshomole was there, in as much as I know that now I have a personal reservation about it. Today in Nigeria, we no longer have labor. What we have is a bunch of some human beings. They will come together, and maybe when they are hungry, they make noise, and government will call them and say, "My people," and then they will go back. That is all. There's no labor. It's unfortunate that if they go on lockdown tomorrow, it's going to affect a lot of things. It's unfortunate. And the question you need to ask yourself, are they really fighting for the interests of the workers?
For the workers or for something
Or they are
else?
fighting for their own interests? Will you tell me that labor is not aware of what is happening in Kogi State, where people are being paid percentage salary? Is labor not aware? A family man goes to work every month, and at the end of the month, government will pay him 5,700, 6,700. Is labor not aware? Is labor not aware that in Ekiti, Abi Osun State, workers are not being paid? What was labor doing when Anambra workers and Abia workers were held salary? What did labor do? And Imo workers were held salary. What did labor do? Nothing. If it was in the past, we know that labor would have raised up all these issues and caused a lot of noise. But today, there's nothing. When they are hungry, they just make one or two noise. And maybe once if the packages are not enough to go around, they will not agree on the terms and conditions. So
anyway, we know that the report said that Labour presses on to decide on strike today, and that hopefully we will pray that this time around, let's see something meaningful. Let's see action. The meetings, the negotiation, the closed door behind closed door is taking too much already, and Nigerians are even tired as we speak. Now, Justice Minister distances FG from 50 billion plea bargain with Emefiele. Now, what's your take on this issue?
I was shocked when I read the news earlier. I was shocked. I was asking myself, with Nigeria, it's not because I have a lot of things against this plea bargain. Nigeria is not yet ripe for plea bargain. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yes, go ahead.
Nigeria is not ripe for plea bargain. Nigeria is not ready for plea bargain. There is so much disadvantages in plea bargain than the advantages. Take for instance, a man that has 100,000 in his account. come into government after 4 years, he have over 300 billion in one of his accounts. Government security agencies arrested him. He now said, okay, I stole 300 billion. Take 150 billion and I take 150 billion. Is that a good bargain?
It's quite shameful. Go ahead.
It's shameful. I stole 300 billion. I'll not give you terms and conditions for the money that I know is not my own, that I stole. So tomorrow, if someone like me get to office, I can also say, well, it has happened before. Let me steal 500 billion. When they come and arrest me, I will give them 300 billion and walk away with 200 billion. Who does that?
Only in Nigeria.
And I was even more shocked when I heard that the Honorable Attorney General was the one. I know him. He's a man of integrity. I know him. He's a man that will not compromise. I know him. He's a man that does not play balls. I have a personal relationship with him, and I know what he stands for. I know he will not do something like. And I'm glad the news came out this morning debunking that there was no such agreement, and there should never be such an agreement in the first place. How can you be talking about someone that? Do you know people died because of the policies? This man.
Of course, people died. A lot of people.
A lot of people died because they tend to achieve some political advantage or political gain. Don't see. There's something that I don't even talking about. There is something they call Anchor's Borrower Program. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware.
Anchor Borrowers Program. Do you know people were giving 1 billion, 30 billion, 40 billion, 60 billion, and tomorrow they will come. There is no guarantee for this money. No collateral for this money. Money were released by this same Emefiele. And this money have not been paid back. And Nigerians are not asking questions. Nigerians need to ask this man a lot of questions. If Nigeria is seen in the environment, this man should be in jail by now. He should be in jail. We should not be even negotiating. How can we be negotiating with the criminal? I'm sorry for using that word because the law presumes him guilty. But from the circumstances, if you handle this case, this man should not escape the wrath of the law. He should be cooling down somewhere. He should be cooling down somewhere. And to be telling Nigeria how we spend their money, what happened to their money over 10 years I was in office. It's a shame.
Indeed, it's a shame, and Nigerians are really not happy about the whole thing. Just before we let you go, on a lighter mood now, because if you keep talking or thinking about Nigerians' issues, is from one woes to another, from one problem to another, and it's becoming so worrisome and, of course, heartbreaking, especially to we the youths. But on a lighter note now, let's talk about Ilebaye. She's from your state, emerging the winner. How do you feel about that?
Well,
even though me myself, I'm not really a fan of Biggie, but I know a lot of people are not fan. But just on a lighter note,
you know, I don't watch the program, but yesterday, everywhere the news was everywhere. Ilebaye, people say Ilebaye, but the word the name is Ilebaye.
Even me, I used to call her Ilebaye.
No, it's not Ilebaye. Ilebaye.
Ilebaye.
Yes, that is the full Ilebaye. Well, okay. As an Igala one from Kogi State, I'm happy and I'm proud for her. I'm proud that at least the thing is coming home.
Yes,
just
so
like they say,
yes, it's coming to your state. And that is something
even though I have so many reservations about the program.
The program.
Yes, the program itself, these people they can do more, because I don't want to just talk down on somebody's idea.
Yes.
It's not good to just talk down on somebody's idea. It's a fantastic idea, whether we like it or not. Whether good or bad. It's a fantastic idea. So it should not be good or fair on my part to just come and the way a lot of people have been doing. I won't do that. They can do more. They can still bring some innovation, bring some creativity and a lot of things. But I'm happy that he came home, and I'm really happy. Yes, even though I did not watch it.
I did not watch as well, but I did not watch, but as I think is well deserved from the comments. Of course, I'm always abreast with the news and with the trends, with the comments and all that. Is a well-deserved win, and congratulations For 3
months, for 3 months, you're not talking about paying bills, you're not buying anything. You just stay in one place and enjoy yourself. And come home with 120 million. I think it's a good
and
deal.
of course, I think at some point they had to do brain tax work, tax here and there, and of course, they did quite a lot as well. And you know, she's likable and she's lovable, and I bet that was why she won that prize.
I don't have the capacity to marry a second wife now. Even I would have asked her the money.
Because of the money, I know a lot of people will be thinking towards that direction as we speak now, because that is a clean money. And of course, you know, people, a lot of people actually look down on her. They felt nothing good will come. Who is this one? She doesn't have the class. She's not. I saw the comment. She's not. Of course, we saw the clips from the show saying ganging up against her, saying she's not fit to win. She doesn't have class. She doesn't belong to a circle and all that. And see, nobody saw her coming, and that is the thing about life.
And God. Yes. So no matter the distraction, she was focused. She was determined. She was disciplined. She knew where she came there, and her mind, her focus was on the goal, and with God on our side. Whether rightly or wrongly, we cannot deny the hand of God.
Yes, that is
true.
Whether
rightly or wrongly, we cannot deny the hand of God.
That is true. Yes. Well, congratulations to Ilebaye and of course all Ilebaye and all of you in Kogi State. It's a good win.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show. That would be a good place to wrap up the show. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. I know you're very busy. I had to practically drag you out of a meeting. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you have yourself a very beautiful day. While we keep our fingers crossed, I'm waiting Labour and federal government once again.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Yet viewers have been on the show with Jomini Ape, a legal practitioner. He always does justice to my topics or shows. I'm so grateful to have him on the show today. And of course, you viewers, thank you for being part of the show. I'll see you again on this show Inside Nigeria next week, same time, same station. While you're out there, know that peace is priceless, so let's always give peace a chance. We know how the economy, all the issues we're having here and there, problems left and right. But what can we do? We still have to, like Peter Obi said yesterday, keep hope alive. Yes, we're keeping hope alive. So I urge Nigerians, no matter how difficult it seems, please let's keep hope alive. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to all social media handles: Instagram, Facebook, X, now the new Twitter, and of course YouTube. Subscribe, share, like, invite somebody to the page, and leave us with your opinion. We love to hear from you as well. While you're out there, drive carefully, obey the traffic law, and please be on water. Water is good for your health. I'll see you again next time on the show. I remain yours truly, Princess Kessy. Bye for now.
Hooray! The next President Show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The Next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets.
Sides to a story. Is there anything like good or bad? Do we have advantages or disadvantages? Is there a right or wrong? This is Crossfire on SRTV.